Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Yep, everyone's getting fat, you fat bastards. This is it now, the run up to Christmas.
Hold on a moment, Paul.
What?
I can't see your microphone.
You're right. Where is it? Where's my fucking microphone? That's why I was turning it up so much.
We're just going to... Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello,
welcome
testing.
to the podcast. Paul was just doing a little Christmas song, and I think he was worrying about the nation's...
Gloria!
And he was worrying about the nation's health, weren't you?
Yeah, I just think Christmas, right? It's not fair to say you don't like Christmas, is it? I know quite a few people who don't like it. I don't think... My girlfriend loves it. She just absolutely loves it.
Swedish, though.
Yeah.
And they love a bit of ritual, don't they?
Yes, but then so do the Irish, you know. I just don't like it because I don't like the waste of it. I just think it's horrendous. You know, all that fucking food and all that plastic shit and all that fucking landfill and that horrible music we have to listen to every year, and you know, it's like, and then people bring out a Christmas song. Thank God they're not doing that anymore. Do you remember when Cliff Richard...
You're sounding a tiny bit miserable.
Cliff Richard, on the Saviour's Day. Guy.
I missed that one,
but
I can well imagine it.
But what about the other one? Was it Christmas time? Mistletoe and wine.
That's it.
Children singing Christmas rhymes. What did you think of that one?
Terrible.
Shit!
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Cliff Richard. And then you've got, what is it, Have a Wombling Christmas. And I wish it could be Christmas every day. And Slade, Merry Christmas, everybody. I mean, I know that, you know, people like all that, and they get drunk at Christmas parties, and they shag each other in the broom cupboard or whatever, and they have Secret Santa and all that. But I just don't understand it, and I don't like it, and I want no part of it, Guy.
Yeah, well, I have tried to get out of it. Normally I have a nervous breakdown around about the 18th. I'm not joking. Around about the 18th of December, ask any of my family. And that's when almost every year, I behave...
Excellent strategy, Guy.
And all the arrangements that I've made and all the invitations that I sent out, I get hold of, and in tears, I retract the whole lot and say, I can't handle it, I can't do it, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. And I'm left with a huge goose in a cold house on my own.
Oh, no. I can see the steel grey colour of this
See, that's not true. And now, actually, I go with my kids and have Christmas with them. But I was very bad at organising it. And this year I'm organising it, and I've started making lists, and I'm trying not to do it. But I think, Paul, it's to do with the fact that when I was a little boy of 11, my father died basically on Christmas Eve.
Did he?
In fact, it was the 23rd, but we only heard about it on the 24th.
That's not going to do great for your...
And I remember going into the Christmas, into the sitting room and seeing the Christmas tree, and thinking, I better remove all the presents to him, otherwise it will remind Mummy that Daddy's died.
Oh, sweet girl.
Yeah, and I kind of got them out from under the tree. I don't remember what I did with them, but I thought, God, I hope this can blow over quite soon, because it's not a very nice feeling. And every Christmas, naturally, we just thought about him, and so it was a bit miserable. And I suspect that's why I have a nervous breakdown around about the 18th, because it's just still so unbearable.
But you've got kids, haven't you? So
and
that's the
a
thing.
joyful Christmas story from Guy.
It's for young'uns, isn't it, Christmas? That's why it's done for young'uns.
Yeah, and it is very charming seeing a toddler standing and looking at a Christmas tree with the lights on.
Yeah.
And that's if you're not charmed by that, you really do have something wrong with you. Even I'm charmed by that.
That's how they get you, Guy.
I'm like the bar.
That's how they get you.
And how that turns into a white crazy... Have you watched... Do you ever watch TV? Do you see the adverts on and all that kind of stuff?
I can't watch it anymore. But we were discussing this the other night about how there used to be this thing where the new Christmas advert would come out for whoever it was, and everyone used to get really excited about it, whether it was Guinness or Marks and Spencer was always a big one, wasn't it?
John Lewis. It's and I know about this because I see it sort of kind of reflected in, you know, basically in conversation in the pub, but I don't actually watch them because I find them so cloying and so insincere, and and so cynical to take these feelings of family and meaning and belonging and just twist them into money.
Yeah, weaponise them.
just monetize them. Basically, just monetize them.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair though, Guy, that is happening all year round. It's just more pronounced at Christmas.
Yeah.
That's why I hate kids in advertising and animals.
I thought
because
you're going to say that's why I hate kids.
Yeah, that's why I hate kids.
Bloody hell.
Oh no!
In advertising, because you feel they're being manipulated.
Yeah, because I hate the manipulation. It's like it's just the quickest way, isn't it, to get to you? It's like, you know, straight for the fucking heartstrings. And I just think, fuck you all when I say I hate them. Sorry, I'm doing the haters thing again, but it does really upset me. I don't think there's anything good about it. And they know they're doing it.
Yeah, but the thing is that the space they take up, consumerism, basically takes up in Christmas. The commercialisation aspect of it is now so big that if we remove it, if you, for instance, you remove giving and receiving presents, which is sort of where you're going with your theory, there's almost nothing left for the English person. I mean, that's all. getting absolutely, stuffing yourself with food and getting arseholed, and that's it. Giving presents. We've lost. I don't go carol singing. I don't go to church. I don't invite the needy into my house. I mean, all of the things that you sort of associate with Christmas, the English just flush that down the bog. Can't be arsed with it. Buy presents. Give them and eat too much.
Irish families are still big on midnight mass, you see. But
Right.
I've stopped going
That's
to that.
exactly. I knew I was going somewhere with the church. Yeah, I remember doing that a long time ago. A Fairford church, but we don't do that. We don't do anything.
Like the Queen's speech and James Bond on Christmas Day and all these things, but they are very artificial. I think what happens is after a while you just realise you're being manipulated, don't you? But one way and another. I just think it's like, the prospect of being good all year and then you'll get something at Christmas when you're a kid, and then the horrible disappointment of finding all the presents hidden under under the bed and realising that Santa's not real, and it's just, I don't know. So of course it's fine. That's just life. It's a gradual peeling back of all the illusions, isn't it? It's like the onion. I mean, God knows what ugly, horrible thing is going to be at the middle of it all.
Yeah, believing in Father Christmas. Quite early on, I found a whole load of sort of holes in the plot of Father Christmas.
Yeah.
And.
So you sussed that pretty early, did you?
Well, I don't know. That kind of illusion wasn't really ever encouraged. My mother was not a very airy-fairy. She was a woman of action and a practical woman. She didn't really believe in kind of adding frills to life.
No, so you didn't have a tooth fairy.
And our friend Matt, he had his parents. I'm not certain. I think that they not exactly cancelled Christmas, but I don't think they were allowed to have any presents or anything like that.
No. Yeah. The Jehovah's don't do it either.
Don't they?
No.
It's just worldly vanity.
It is, yeah.
It's exactly what the two of us are just saying, but we disapprove of them. You can go too far, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because looking back though, I've had some great Christmases, and it's usually when I've been stranded somewhere, or somewhere when you didn't expect to be, with the snow outside, some meeting somewhere up north and ending up in a pub with loads of strangers, just getting drunk and having fun. And I guess it's kind of escapism in a way. There's an aspirational aspect to it as well, I think. I saw a great thing the other day, which is somebody had put up all these Christmas lights, like when they go absolutely mental, like they're doing.
Oh, yeah. On their house.
Yeah, like they're doing Essex.
Howes and Worth have done it. And, sorry, I just came past Howes and Worth last night, and it's like exactly like what you're saying with Essex houses. Sorry to interrupt you. I'll get back to what you were saying. And it's absolutely covered, their Somerset Gallery, in the most garish, kind of bright blue Santa on his sleigh on the top. and I cannot believe they've got that past, the boss, head office cannot know this vulgar display of kind of
what
cheap
they need,
spangle and glamour
what they
and
need to
tinsel.
do is the next door.
It's the first thing I've ever seen on there that's made me smile and stop.
The next door neighbour, you see, what they need to do is get the fairy lights out and write "ditto" on their wall, which is the photograph I saw.
Right.
Which I thought was said it all
Yeah,
to
I saw
me.
one which had an arrow and it just had Dick or Dickhead pointing at them. But anyway, Housenworth, it's
Housenworth, we should say at this juncture, are a gallery.
a gallery, a very, very smart,
quite
sophisticated, successful gallery that are pitched up. That are pitched and international.
Swiss gallery.
Very important to emphasise international, and they're an international gallery. They pitched up in my village in Somerset. God knows why, and spent loads of money creating a very chic gallery, bar, and cafe. And it's always so tasteless, tasteful. So achingly tasteful and kind of, on message and on trend and all that sort of stuff, and has all the
minimal even.
Minimal, yeah, and all that kind of fairly cerebral, fairly joyless art, carted over from Berlin or New York or wherever.
Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland. And then to see that covered in like crazy flashing lights from Tesco.
Yeah, and then the staff party.
Someone must have been.
They must be having I bet they're having a staff party and they're all photocopying each other's arses and backscuttling the galleries. Assistants over the wheelie bins out the back, vomiting into the fucking bushes.
I have a feeling when I go back tonight or whenever I pass them, I pass them every few days, that it will be changed. It'll be taken down.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do. I looked at it and I thought someone has not got permission to do that.
It was probably a Jeff Koons.
Well, that's. Yeah, that would be nice. Well, I don't know if it would be nice.
But no, it's just like tongue-in-cheek, postmodern.
Yes, it just looks so on tongue-in-cheek. That's what was so funny about it. That's what was so brilliant about it. You couldn't look at that and say, "Oh, that's a very clever statement about Christmas." You just thought that someone's gone out and spent 400 quid at Tesco's on crazy, terrible life.
I refused to do it. Do you remember the other day when we were going to France, Sky, and you saw that we saw that huge container ship, which must have had. It was blue. Do you remember?
No.
It's a blue ship, and it must have had 1,000 containers on it. And we went past it as we were going over the channel.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of them online. I had a look at them the other day, and they are the Christmas ships.
They're just carrying tinsel.
And there's more than one of them.
Turkey balls. Landfill.
Full of landfill.
It's going via our sitting rooms into a hole in the ground.
That's right.
Basically. That's the service they provide.
Having been attacked by a cat somewhere in the middle, most of it.
Right.
Or given to somebody who didn't want it.
And had an argument in earshot of it.
That's right, yeah. It's recorded on it.
Children crying or adults having a go at each other.
Some
and
of
then
it's probably
straight
even
into the hole.
in blood.
We're not being very cheery about it because there's
fucking Christmas!
I've got to put up some Christmas decorations because I've got the grandkids coming, and I'm just wondering if you can advise me on it, actually.
Go on.
What am I going to do? What am I going to put up? I really don't want to get that stuff, but I'm sure it would go down so well with them. And I feel not putting it up is like a statement of misery, but it's not really a statement.
Holly and ivy.
Holly and ivy. I can provide those too. I've got a holly.
Have you got any with berries on? Oh, the holly and the ivy, when both are full well grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown.
La, la, la.
It's great. That's your old school stuff.
Okay,
you see, that's Yule. And what about a Yule log, Guy?
A Yule log I can provide, and I've already marked. My woodshed, and I marked one out.
Get a massive Yule log.
I put it on like, Christmas Eve afternoon, and it
decorated with pagan symbols.
What are they?
I don't know, fucking runes or whatever.
On the log?
Yeah, put some on the log.
Oh, don't be ridiculous! You're gonna burn it.
Paint them on with a white paintbrush, and then get the kids to make some decorations.
That's what I don't know if we can go that far.
Why not?
I could get an insurrection.
Go on.
Dad, just go down to Tesco's like everyone else and stop trying to be clever.
Oh.
I remember making paper chains.
Yeah, it's
Do you
great
remember
fun.
making
Yeah,
and I did like it. Up to what about after 8?
After 5 links.
after 7 inches. Oh God!
You were like, for fuck's sake, why can't we be like a normal family? But actually, we were a normal family. What I loved about our thing was that we had a Christmas box up in the attic and a fake Christmas tree, which came out every year. Really like gnarly, threadbare-looking thing. But the reason it looked good was because, well, I don't know if good is the right word, but it looked passable was because there was so much tinsel and balls on it. And what happened was every year my mum used to buy or be given a small set of balls, but a lot of them were from the 50s and 30s, even the ones that were on there, and they'd been passed down from her mum. And so this tree was really quite amazing and had all these really strange balls, and as kids we saw them once a year, so it was quite exciting getting them all out and looking at them again. And then there'd be the newcomers, you know, and we would arrange it together as a family.
Well, I was thinking, shall I dress the halls into...
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
I was thinking of decking the tree. Decking the tree sounds like you're punching it over. Deck the tree.
Deck the tree.
But I was thinking of decking the trees with the kids and the grandkids, and whether or not I could pull it off with a straight face and keep a straight face, and whether it would be fun.
I think that could be good. I'd get some carols on.
What do you mean by on?
Get some on. What is it? On the boom box.
On the box, yeah.
Yeah. Just put on, and if you want something that's a bit more upbeat for the evening, I like Phil Spector's Christmas album.
Right.
Which is obviously the best. It's the greatest Christmas album ever made, really. If you're into that kind of.
Are they new songs or covers?
It's like things like Frosty the Snowman, but done in the Wall of Sound style.
Right.
It's actually really good.
Right. Vibes Cartel, the famous murderer and Jamaican DJ, he does Christmas singles, and
from prison.
From prison. I don't know whether you know Buju Banton was released this week. Buju Banton did a 6-year stretch for cocaine. For cocaine smuggling in America. He got caught in Miami.
Famous for the record Boom Bye Bye, which I believe is advocating the massacre or the murder of homosexuals.
Of gay people, of gay people. And he's just arrived back in Jamaica this week, so I'm expecting a Christmas single from him as well.
Yeah.
But we'll have to... But Vibes... Buju Banton has released no music at all while he's been in prison. None at all. And there's some people wondering why that's the case when Vibes Cartel can basically release a song about every 8 weeks. One comes out of a Jamaican prison. And he does a very nice line in Christmas singles. There's one called Every Day is Christmas. Every day is Christmas. It's a really nice song, actually.
That's undermining the idea of Christmas a bit, though.
Yeah, it is, I agree, but we're going back to what...
Isn't he ripping off I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day by Wizard as well?
Yeah, it could be, but the tune's different.
Yeah, and there's nothing new under the sun.
Get in the shower feeling hot, with a rum in my hand, and something in my yard. Every day is Christmas. Basically, it's just about shagging women.
Maybe we need to bring back the serious Christmas single.
Like Cliff.
No, not Cliff. Like and so this is Christmas, and what have you done? Was it Merry Christmas, War is Over? That had a serious message.
Yeah.
And there was the other one about
We're Not
Greg
Sure.
Lake, I Believe in Father Christmas. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
That was quite serious as well, wasn't it? Hallelujah, Noel, be it heaven or hell, the Christmas we get we deserve.
Right. That's a bit thoughtful for me.
Well, I know that serious Christmas songs were a thing in the 70s. And actually people got into them, you know. It's like, yes, it was nice to put on a thoughtful Christmas record as well as everyone singing along to the Wombles or whatever. But maybe it's time for that again.
Yeah, with a rum in my hand, every day is Christmas.
You know, Romy.
With my girlfriend, something hot. Get in the bathroom and come back. Just like typical. Anyway, Vibes.
Well,
he is great, Vibes. He is. Anyway, so we're now going to have Vibes. Vibes has got 38 years, and they are trying to work out how to get him out. They really need to get him out, but he did the murder, I'm afraid, and it looks like he did some other ones as well, which he managed to get off. So they got Buju out. So they're basically at one stage they had 3 or 4 artists who in their top 10 were all in prison
for murder or other.
Yeah, it's like I always say, it's like the Cray twins making Abbey Road. It's like so bonkers that the same people are so eminent in their fields to one violence and murder, violence and drug dealing, and the other songwriting.
That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, they combine it. Yeah, there's been a lot of anyway. Christmas singles.
Maybe we should make one, Guy.
I don't think I'm up to it, to be honest.
I could do it.
Paul,
I could do it
actually.
I once wrote a hymn, to go on the telly on a hymn contest.
Did you?
Yeah. It was called. It was. You know when you have a drummer at the back in a church and they're going at the back and they've got a band and it all sounds very
Not
echoey.
in any church I've been into.
Yeah, but when they have those happy clapper churches and they've got all the guys who basically can't get in a band anywhere else, so they're in the church playing the music.
It's a terrible place to end your musical career in a Christian church.
So you need that boom boom ba, really enthusiastic backbeat, and then it's like do 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 do. And it goes, well, since the beginning of time there has been an alliance between the devil and the men of science. They took away the amoeba. They shall be called the amoeba relievers. But what about our souls, Jesus? What about our souls? Who's going to save our souls, Jesus? What about our souls?
Did you just make that up?
No, I wrote that. And then it went do. The snake popped into the Garden of Eden and made Adam give Eve the apple and something or other. I can't remember the rest of it, but that was my song because I thought.
And the chorus was, "What about our souls, Jesus?"
Yes. What about our souls?
Oh, our souls.
Our souls.
Sorry.
What about our souls?
Was it meant to be a pun? No.
No, it was serious.
Oh, right. Well, when you said that, I thought you were saying, "What about our souls, Jesus?" And I thought,
well, people are fucking stupid.
That kind of won a prize.
They didn't win a prize.
Oh, it didn't. You entered it, though.
Yes, and I never got a
didn't win,
reply.
no.
It was on a cassette.
Right.
I did all the bit of parts, so it wasn't that great.
We're seeing the bands playing in to a congregation, in a very thin congregation, in a cold church. Oh, that's real devotion to your music, isn't it?
And they have those songs like things like, "Oh Jesus, I have promised to serve you to the end," and they're all like quite jolly with very odd emphasis on the words. Like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Horrible. It is horrendous. Maybe that's the future for us.
Christian rock.
So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I think we could write a successful Christmas single.
Well, I don't. And
You could write
I've
the
got enough
lyrics.
things going on wrong in my life without writing a Christmas single with you, Paul. Just add it to the, as you say, to the snowdrift of disappointment.
No, but let's just say we were going to do it in theory, how would we do it? I think you're right, though. We could take a line from Vibes and bring a bit of sex into it. Because you don't get that very often. Sexy Christmas.
No, you don't.
What about we're going to have a sexy Christmas? We're going to have a sexy Christmas.
Yeah, the kids are all up in bed. Santa's going to come. Yes.
It's coming on his sleigh tonight.
Right, and it's mum and dad. Kids are upstairs, and they're having a shag. With
Not
dad.
a shag, no, it's all like double entendre.
Oh, right, okay. And Dad's got his little Santa cap on. No,
Yeah.
Mum, yeah.
I hope you've hung your balls on the tree tonight. I'm stuffing the turkey for you, baby. I don't know, I think there's something in there. We could have a one-off novelty hit. If anyone out there's listening and they want to sign us to do this, Guy could write the lyrics and I can do the music, and I reckon we could probably get on, well, there's, on, what's it called?
YouTube. Oh, Eurovision. Poor, the poor English. Is it English or British? Do we enter as England or Britain to the
England.
Eurovision? No, because there isn't a
Ireland.
Scottish one.
Oh, yes, yeah, they do. They don't always get in, but the Scots sometimes enter.
Really? Okay, so it's England, is
And
it?
the Welsh have won quite a few times, haven't they?
I have no idea. I have to look away.
I fucking love the Eurovision Song Contest.
I love the way they're so rude to the English. And there's a lot. I mean, we're not going to get on. Don't get me onto Brexit again. But you can just see that they are fed up to the back teeth of listening to English music all fucking year. Every time they put the radio on, oh bloody hell! It's another. Do you remember? Do you remember we were listening to the radio in France? Sting. Phil Collins. And then up it comes. Well, I've got the standard old bit of English.
Nobody else would do all Spice Girls.
So we heard that. And they're fed up with us totally dominating the pop music scene.
But they had to
and they get their own back on that day, whenever it is. It's February, isn't it? Spring.
Yes.
So I don't know why. Maybe it changes. But on the night of the Eurovision Song Contest, we are ritually humiliated.
We didn't used to be
talentless musicians.
I remember the year it went wrong. It was when we tried to do a punk record one year. It was 1978,
Too
I think.
clever by half.
And we put in a band called the Fruit Eating Bears, and they did a song called "Door in My Face." So the entry for England was "Door in My Face" by the Fruit Eating Bears. If you want to Google it, you'll see what it looks like anyway. And the refrain was "Door in my face, door in my face, door in my face." Which is what we got. And you know what? We never recovered from that year.
Well, it always... And then we kind of slightly went off in a flounce, didn't we? We said, well, we don't care. But we sort of did. And then various people were put in charge of winning it back for Britain. Do you remember Jonathan King? Various other
Good
people.
choice.
Was it? Oh, Paul. Actually, it may not have been Jonathan King.
Gambacci.
I think it was. Yeah, Paul Gambacci. Nice people, not just Jonathan King. Maybe that's all.
Jonathan King, you know.
But we had a crack at it, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And then we were looked in danger of really caring about whether or not we did, whether we won or we lost, and that was fatal. As soon as they knew that we cared about it, then our score went to 0.
And then the block voting started, didn't it? So you would have the Macedonians voting with the Greeks, and the Ukrainians and the Russians weirdly always vote together with the. Probably not now, but there was kind of, you remember there's this kind of block voting that goes on. The fucking Irish always win it anyway, don't they?
They have won it, I believe. Yeah.
They've won it quite a few times. Some great ones though. There've been some truly great.
Australia's in it.
My favourite one that I saw in recent years, it wasn't even recent, it's about 10 years ago, was when the Israeli transsexual won it.
Yeah, she was called Dana International. Yeah.
It was so fantastic. I was with a couple of friends, and we watched that one.
I'm quite surprised the Israelis won it, actually.
Yes.
But I guess they put, I can see...
Viva la diva!
Of course, there's absolutely no Arabs in it, which would account for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't stand it, because it's a fairly, let's face it, it's openly political.
Yeah.
It's just basically, do they like your country? Forget the song. I don't even listen to the song.
It's melodic war, really, isn't it? It's like
yeah.
It's a kind of war using pop songs. It's the Trojan horses. But I loved it that year. I loved it when she won. And I was sitting in a room with several gay men and a transsexual woman when we watched it, and we whooped it up. I think we went out into a club afterwards because we were so excited. But I don't think anyone believed that she could win until she actually did. I thought that was great, actually. I think it might have been the last positive thing that Israel did on the international stage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
What can I say that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Yeah. But I don't expect she probably won't go down very well in Israel either, because they're quite macho. The ones who I met out there. I don't know.
Yeah, but you are allowed to be gay in Israel. You are allowed to be gay, and that is. It's
not actually a criminal offence. You mean?
No, it is a really positive thing about Israel.
Yeah.
You know, probably a lot more positive than a lot of the other things they do. I mean, you know, this is the problem, isn't it? Is that there's all the elements of a progressive society, but it's just that it's a fascist one.
Yeah, it is a bit hand-tied by their parliamentary system, which has ended up giving so much power to these tiny parties, and that's why the first past the post system that we have tends to keep the smaller parties out of power, and that's why we have such reasonable governments, Paul. I can see you about to attack me as I advance my thesis of the brilliance of the British political system. Particularly this week, you can see how wonderfully effective it is.
It's worked out really well, hasn't it? So, have they got proportional representation in Israel?
I don't know, but I think so. But I know this is that they have a large number of parties in the parliament. And you always have to, a bit like Germany, they always have to do it by coalition, and they put together these coalitions, and the far right Likud often get into the coalition, and like with the DUP, they advance quite hardcore agenda, yeah. And in Britain, actually it's not true at all, because in fact indeed the DUP do have a lot of influence at the moment, but normally they don't.
No, they're not giving their money back either.
Yeah, right. I didn't think that
money.
much chance of getting that money.
Yeah. Where's the money gone? Well, yeah, tough shit, mate. Should never have handed that over.